The biggest difference between the way that you do makeup and the way a professional does makeup when it comes to acne is that a lot of people will immediately jump to going in with a full coverage foundation and then whacking on a ton of powder to set it into place, and then having to go in with a lot of blush and bronzer to make the skin look natural again. Whereas what a professional does is goes in with a much lighter, thinner, sheer foundation all over, and then spends the next half an hour spot concealing every single little bump. And I'll show you how I do that. So my goal with the foundation wasn't to necessarily cover everything. It was just to even out her skin tone. Now I'm going to go in with a liquid blush. I'm going to apply that where I want it. And there's a very specific reason why I'm choosing liquid, or you could use a cream product here, but liquid or creams work best for this type of technique. So there's the liquid blush, and then I'm also going to take a liquid bronzer, and I'm just applying that wherever I want. The reason why I don't want to start concealing now is because I'm going to have to go in with my bronzer and my contour and my blush. And if I do that after I've already concealed, I'm just going to move everything all over the place, and then we're not going to have the coverage on the acne spots where we want it. So I'm going to do this first. Now what you do is you take a thicker concealer, so usually something that comes in a stick like this one from Clé de Peau, or a pot concealer, and with a really tiny eyeshadow brush. This one's from Refer, and this is the number 13 brush, and I'm going to slowly work that onto any little spots that I want to cover. So I'm going to have to diffuse the concealer out just so that you don't see where the concealer starts and stops. But if you're still finding some of that redness peeking through, you go in with an even smaller brush. This is Refer's 23 brush, and you can see just how teeny tiny this is. Go in with the concealer and you just dab it right onto the center of where that spot is. And both of these brushes come in their Precision Eye set. These are high quality Japanese handmade brushes, and the natural fiber just really diffuses that concealer out and makes it look seamless. And then remember, the reason why I said we do our liquid or our cream blush or bronzer first is now if we have any spots in the areas where our blush or our bronzer are, I take my concealer and I mix it in with whichever product I used for the blush or bronzer, and then I go in with that into these areas so that I don't end up with like a concealer spot in the middle of where my blush is. And that's something that you just can't do with powder. But you can't tell me that doesn't look better. Once you put all that extra makeup on top, all you're doing is staring at the texture from the makeup. Lighter foundation and less of it will still look better, even on textured, even on acne skin, even on skin with rosacea, because a lot of those types of skin conditions come with texture. What did you ask me again?
So why is it like kind of darker, but this side is so bright?
So the reason why this side looks like I used a darker foundation is not because I necessarily use a darker foundation, but because the foundation is more sheer. It lets more of your natural skin tone come through. Whereas this one, because it's so full coverage, it just blocked out all the color in your skin. So it makes it show more. That's why I keep telling people, stop using so much foundation. They're like, oh, but I have all these things to cover. I'm like, I'm telling you, it's more worth taking the time to use something more sheer and then going in and spending that time spot concealing, so you end up using a lot less makeup in the end. If you have things that you need to cover, you need more concealer, not more foundation. Foundation is your base, so something light overall, and then you go in with your concealer afterwards to detail out any of the extra areas where you need that coverage. Remember, it's called foundation, not concealer. Mic drop. That's why the mic fell off. It was just like, done, I'm done here.